Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock tutorial. Now today I've made an item filter, but not just any item filter. No, this item filter can sort 4 different items out. We have shears, flint and steel, water buckets, and lava buckets. And now if you put any other items in here, this will come out into this junk chest over here. Now these 4 items are surprisingly difficult to sort in Minecraft Bedrock. So I come over here to my example, you can further see what I mean. So water buckets you can dispense, and then they'll come out, and then you have to dispense a second time in order to pick them back up. And lava does the exact same thing, except doesn't flow quite as fast. Now when it comes to flint and steel will only be dispensed once, because once there's fire, it cannot dispense fire again, and you have to break the fire, and then it will make a further signal that the observer can detect. And now if we look over to the shears, this one's even weirder, because unless there's a sheep in front of it, the observer cannot detect anything coming out. Now all other items when in a dispenser will either be thrown out, or if it's a shulker, will be placed out. So by using the power of observers, we are able to sort every single item out. Now every time an item comes in the system, it flows down and goes past this comparator. Now this comparator will power this dropper on and off, which the observer detects 2 times. Now because of that, we are always firing this dispenser 2 times, and that's how we're always able to ensure that if it's a water or lava bucket, the water or lava does not get left behind in the system. Also from this comparator, we have a timer, so after 8 ticks, well 9 ticks counting the torch, it will unlock this hopper, allowing the item to be filtered through the system. Now if the observer detects nothing, it's going to go straight into this chest, which is the shears. Now if it is flint and steel, the observer is going to detect 1 pulse. Because every time flint and steel gets powered, even if it gets powered twice, you will only see the flames come out once. So that means it's going to go to this chest. Now how this works is by using droppers. So an observer can power up to 2 blocks away. So it's powering these 3 droppers at the exact same time. And we have 2 items in this dropper. So when it gets powered once, we can see that 1 item is left in the dropper, and the second item flows down to this dropper down here. There's 1 item up here and 1 item's down here. Now by using comparators, we are able to lock this hopper, which means that the flint and steel is going to come across, and hoppers like to pull instead of push, so it's first going to try to come down here, and because it's unlocked, it will. Now because this hopper is locked, that means this hopper is going to say, I can't push it down, so I'm going to push it to the side. And that's how we're able to sort everything. So by using this system, the observer only gets triggered once, then that means only this first comparator is going to light up. But if we trigger the entire system one more time, we can see that there is 1 item here and 1 item here. And by doing that, we can see that 2 comparators are lit, and that means it has to be a water bucket. Now how we're able to distinguish between water and lava is just the speed of which it travels. So for example, water travels really fast, and it will trigger the second observer, whereas we gave the same pulse of time for lava, it won't travel all the way to the second end, which is where we would have another observer facing us. So by using that, we are able to have 1 observer there, and that is going to powering this dropper. Now this dropper is a T flip-flop. Now whenever that is powered off, then that means that it is a water bucket. But normally the system keeps on resetting it and keeps on putting this thing as on, forcing it to be a lava bucket. Now, a quick thing I'm going to mention, because I know some of you guys are going to immediately ask down in the comments, is this system able to work with this non-stackable item sorter for every single non-stackable item in the game? Now, I made this 2 months ago, and this sorts every single non-stackable in the game that is possible to sort. Now, this system will work with this, and you can just hook the hopper line up to this barrel right here. Now, if you do this, you can actually make the system slightly smaller, because that system over there has a built-in timer that is long enough that you do not need this top green part. So again, if you are going to put this system into this system, all you have to do is hook it straight up to this hopper right here. But if this is a single system, this is not hooked up to anything else that's going to slow the items down, you do need the screen part up here, because again, that's a timer, and make sure the system has enough time to make sure everything is 100% reliable when sorting everything. Now this video was a viewer suggested video, so if you have any other fun or crazy redstone contraptions you want to see happen, let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously, and it lets me know you guys are enjoying my content. And with that, let's start the tutorial. Now, I also want to quickly mention that if you guys want a material list or will download for this build, I'll have that all linked in the description of this video, so go check that out if you are interested. Alright, so the entire system is 6 long, 3 wide, and is 10 tall, and that is counting the timer up at the top. So starting with our 4 chests here, we're going to come up 1 hopper on every single chest, and then on the far right one, we'll come up again, and then we'll have 3 hoppers going into that far one. Now we'll come up 1 more, and then here's where we'll have our dispenser. Now going into the hopper right underneath the dispenser, we'll have 2 repeaters, and each of these repeaters needs to be on 4 ticks. Now beside this hopper here, we need to have 2 of these droppers, and these 2 droppers need to be facing into each other. Now in the right one, we need to have 1 item. It doesn't matter what the item is, as long as you don't care about it, because you will never see from it again. A bit of redstone dust, and then we will have a block right there. Now right on top of this repeater, we will have a dropper. We'll have an observer detecting that dropper, and on top of the observer, we will have a comparator, bit of redstone dust, and then we will also have a redstone torch. So now we are working with the junk chest. So in order to do this, we are going to have a hopper, and then we need a solid block here, which means that the hopper will not suck items through that solid block, so we need to put a minecart hopper there. So how we're going to do that is simply break your block, and put blocks on either side of the hopper, put a rail down, and then put your minecart hopper. Now get low enough that you can just see the hitbox, break the minecart hopper, put blocks all the way around, then we're going to come up another block. We will have a piston facing straight down, put a block there. Once we power it, we can remove the blocks all the way around it, and we can see that the minecart hopper is inside the block. Now coming off to the side, we are going to have a hopper going straight into that, and then we will have an observer, which is going to be facing that hopper. And then we will have 2 blocks right here with a repeater on 4 ticks, and then we will also have a bit of redstone dust right here, and then this redstone dust will be just setting right there, so right above this dropper. Now coming underneath, we are going to have 2 blocks here, and then we're going to have 3 blocks here, and then 1 more block right here. Now we're going to put in 4 comparators, so 3 comparators there, and 1 comparator here, with redstone dust here. Now here's where we need to put in a bunch of droppers, so we're going to have 1 dropper in the middle, and then we'll have 1 dropper coming up, and then we're going to skip a spot, have a dropper come to the side, and then we're going to have a dropper going straight down. And the 2 spots we left, we are going to have 2 hoppers, so 1 going in, 1 going in, and then right here is where we're going to need 2 observers, so we'll have 1 observer right here, facing right towards the dispenser, and then 1 observer right here facing down. In this top dropper, we need to have 2 junk blocks that you do not care about. Now coming up to the torch, we are going to have a glass block here, and then a solid row of blocks right along here. Now we will have 2 bits of redstone dust right here, and then we're going to have 3 repeaters here, and each of these repeaters needs to be on 4 ticks. Now off of this repeater, we are going to have a solid block there, and then you can have 2 solid blocks here, or if you want to see what's happening in there, you can have a glass block like I do. That way we can see what's happening within the system. Now we need 2 bits of redstone dust there, and then we're going to have another 2 blocks here, and then next we're going to have an observer. Now this observer is going to be an observer of 3 chain coming down, going into a block. Now right here is where we're going to have another bit of redstone dust, and we don't want this to connect, so we will have another solid block right here. Now coming up to the top, we are just simply going to put 4 repeaters all along here, and then the first 3 will be on 4 ticks, and the last one's going to be on 1 tick. Now the system itself is completely done, but we still need to install the timer at the top to make sure that the system will work properly. So coming from this hopper, we'll go up a dropper, hopper, and then a barrel, and this can be any type of storage container, but that's basically where the entire system will start working from. So then right here, we'll come out another 2 blocks, and we'll have a comparator, bit of redstone dust, going right into a block, and on this block we will have a redstone torch. Now coming off the side of this, we will have this redstone torch going into some redstone dust. Then right here we will have a piston, redstone block, come out another 2 blocks, and then right here we will have 1 more piston. Now for those of you who know redstone, what we're making right here is an etho hopper clock. This is so we can have a variable timing system for how fast we want the entire system to work. So if your system isn't working for some reason, simply put more items in here, and that will slow the system down. Now, I have found that you need to put at least 8 items in this hopper, Now, if you have less than 8 items, then the system will not work. Again, you need to have at least 8 items. You can put more to make it slower and more reliable, but I have found 8 items works perfectly fine on my single player world here. All that is left to do is to come over here and put a dropper face with an observer, and then we'll have a block with a redstone torch right here. And just like that, the entire system is done. By putting a new barrel in there, we can see that all our non-stackable items are being sorted in all our correct spots, and any junk items are going into this chest. So that's it, guys. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video.